welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona. Welcome back if you're joining me again. Today's class is a 90-minute combined Vinyasa and Yin class. So part one of the Vin to Yin series of classes. First half of class, 45 minutes of warming, opening, strengthening Vinyasa flow, followed by 45 minutes of Yin, which will be more introspective, some more passive poses, seated and reclined. And for practice, for the whole practice, you may need some props, and I'd recommend a block, a blanket and a bolster, but you could use a book and a couch cushion. If you know you're particularly tight in the hips, the hamstrings, the back, you may like to have a wall space. I offer some modifications there for some of the Yin poses. And if you are enjoying the classes and you'd like to support me, I'm on Patreon. All the details are in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoy this practice. Namaste. And begin your practice in Child's Pose, Balasana at the back of your mat. Knees wide so your chest can fall between your thighs. Finding your connection to the ground here, letting the weight of your hips and your buttocks settle back toward your heels. Invite your forehead to rest into the mat. Taking a moment to honour the space that you're coming into, gently closing your eyes, welcoming yourself to your practice with reverence and humility. Starting to sense your breath moving easily into your back body. Your exhales falling softly into your belly, slow and calm. And just beginning to equalize your breath, inhaling an even, equal amount of inhale and an even, equal amount of exhale. Samavriti breathing, even breath. Sensing all four sides of your body breathing. And just quietly setting an intention to seek balance in your practice today. To balance not only your strength and your flexibility, but also your mind, your body and emotions by practicing discernment. Acknowledging you've got agency to modify in your own home practice. Give yourself permission to be okay with whatever shows up. So we recognize in some poses that they might come quite easily and some not so. And it's really not about your ability to master them, but your ability to master your perspective. So your inner domain, finding what feels balanced for you. And from here, just gliding up onto all fours, tabletop, and start to make any movements that feel natural for you. You might like to move side to side or in circles. Breathing some space into your torso in a way that feels nourishing. And finding a breath matched within every movement you create. And then return to what feels like neutral and more warm and open the wrists. So depending on your range of motion here, you can dial your hands out to face the sides of your mat or turn them back to face your knees or anywhere on that trajectory that feels comfortable. You're just seeking sensation through your inner forearms. From here, tuck your toes, put a little bend in your elbows and slowly lean your buttocks back toward your heels, any amount, might be quite subtle. And at the same time, then tone the muscles of your hands. So spread your fingers wide. Press the fingertips down into your mat as you draw your weight back. One more breath in. And release, return to center, turn the hands to face forward, and then come on to the back of just your right hand. Little bend in your right elbow. And again, gently lean your weight back, trying to keep the back of your hand grounded. And pressing through the back of your hand to the edge of your fingernails. And then release, same thing, switch sides. The fingers turn back. Spread and activate the back of your left hand. Gently rock your body's weight back. And then face your hands forward, come onto the fingertips, stacking your hands under your shoulders, and take a few rounds of cat and cow. So just arching and rounding your spine. And you'll find you'll have a little more range to move with more elevation from the floor. And then go ahead, flatten your palms, take one more round, extending and flexing your spine, arching, rounding. And then come back to center, moving into a twist. On your inhale, reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. On your exhale, weave your right arm under your left, come to rest down on your right shoulder, your right side cheek. Tense your left fingers and step your left hand out to the left. And then press your body's weight down where you touch down, gently rotating to your left. Final option, if you feel like you have more space to twist, place your left hand onto the palm of your right, interlace your fingers and work towards straightening your arms to deepen the twist. Stay for one more breath in and one more breath out. Unravel and reverse, release, send your right arm up toward the ceiling. And then softly land, return to all fours. Left side, inhale your left arm up, gaze beyond the fingertips. Exhale and thread the needle, left arm under your chest, behind your right wrist. Come to rest on your left shoulder, left side cheek. Right away, come to your right fingertips, walk your hand away from your face. And then feel where you're in contact with the mat, press down to offer yourself a little space and light in the shape. And practicing a steady breathe, even and equal. And final option to deepen your twist, right palm into your left, lace your fingers, straighten your arms. Stay for another full cycle of breath. Then release and unravel, reach your left hand high toward the ceiling. And then return to all fours. Take a round of cat and cow, loosen and recalibrate through your spine. And then tuck your toes, make your way into downward facing dog. Bend one knee at a time, easing into your shape. And then come forward to a plank pose, hold here. And just engaging your hands just as we did on all fours, fingers spread, palms wide, pushing the floor away. And then legs engaged, center of your heels, reaching back, crown of the head forward so your head's not dropping here. And then bend your knees quite deeply, hover, and then flow back to downward facing dog. Again, shift forward, plank pose on your inhale and hold. And you can always make this more accessible by placing your knees to the floor, or more active by energetically dragging your hands and your feet toward one another isometrically. So the pose will look the same, but your lower abdominals will be working a little bit more. Then press back, knees bend, downward facing dog. And again, you can pedal your heels, shift your weight side to side. Final round, inhale, plank pose and pause. And you can add that isometric contraction, feet to hands, or adding on, holding your plank shape, raise your right foot from the floor. Perhaps exploring raising your left hand. And then switch, left foot lifts, right hand. And release, lower now down to your belly. We'll come into a locust variation. I'm going to keep the head low, raise just your legs. And as you linger here, add a light bend in your knees, so feeling your hamstrings and your glutes working there. And then lower your legs, press only gently into your hands and lift your chest for cobra pose. Ribs and chest move forward, shoulder blades down your back. And then seesaw between the two, head low, raise your legs, Ardha Shalabhasana. Then lower your legs, press into your feet, lift your chest, Bhujangasana. And then lower down, press back, downward facing dog. Just alternating between engaging and disengaging, re-lengthening the muscles of your back now. Cultivating that balanced strength and flexibility so you're strong and you're nimble. On your inhale now, raise your right leg up and back, down dog splits. Exhale, one time, core lunge in the air, curl your knee to your nose. Inhale, down dog split, sweep your right leg high. On your exhale, step to lizard lunge, right foot, top of the mat in the right lane. Soften your left knee to the floor. Shift your hands on the inside of your right foot, and you might like to rest your hands or your forearms onto a block for support if you have one, or just remain on your hands. Concentrate on drawing your chest forward through your arms, smiling your collarbones open so you keep your chest open to breathe. And now activating your legs so you're isometrically dragging your right heel back in space, hugging your inner right knee to your upper right arm. So we're going to move into some more passive postures toward the end of class, but for now, keep the energy of the poses active and engaged. Same time balance, so you have some efforting in the legs here, but also a sense of ease, just letting go of any unnecessary contractions in your jaw, perhaps your shoulders here. Tuck your left toes, raise your left knee, find warrior leg, so drop an anchor into your left foot. Then stay low, walk your hands out and over to your left. So aiming your right kneecap forward so it doesn't follow you there. And keep your left leg engaged and the arch of your left foot bright to avoid your ankle sickling in. One more smooth breath in. And then walk your hands back inside your right foot. Come to the fingertips and step up to Malasana, Yogi Squat. And elevating your seat or propping your buttocks onto a block if this shape doesn't favour your knees. And just bring your hands to prayer. Elbows to the inner knees to widen the gate of the pose. And pressing actively into your outer feet to engage your legs. So again, you're just balancing your effort with ease, strong, active legs. At the same time, keeping the cadence of your breath rhythmic and even, your mind patient and quiet. So we embody the essence of what yogis refer to as sthira and sukha. Sthira, standing firm, finding steadiness. And Sukha, finding good space in your body. Take an in-breath in your squat. On your exhale, lift your hips, point your toes forward and fold over your legs. On your inhale, lift up halfway, look forward. Exhale to plank pose, stepping back. Take a moment, a breath, greet your shape. And then exhale to your belly for locust cobra. Keep your head low, raise just your legs. And then lower your legs and lift your chest for cobra. Lower and press back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, raise your left leg up and back. Exhale one time, core lunge in the air. Inhale, down dog splits. And exhale, step your left foot to your hands for lizard lunge. Tap your right knee to the floor and just setting up hands to a block or the floor inside your left foot. And then mindfully engaging the legs. Left outer hip hugs in. Left heel dragging back in space without actually moving, that isometric contraction. And a full calm breath. And moving into a deeper lunge, tuck your right toes, raise your right knee, step to warrior feet. Then walk your hands out to your right, and you can be on the fingertips or your palms flush. And keep anchoring your right heel firm, lengthening forward away from your heel. It's finding that middle space between effort and ease, between the yang and yin energies of the shape. And always, if we ever do too much or too little of either, it depletes us. So just finding balance. Walk your hands back in, pop up onto the fingertips and step up to Malasana. And this time, elevating your seat on purpose. So buttocks back and down, chest up, hands interlaced into a knot and come to what looks like a long drop squat. Sitting up a little higher. Bring some warmth into the buttocks, the thighs. And then press down to rise, come to stand. Hands to prayer, close the gap of your feet. Inhale now, chair pose, Utkatasana, motion your hips down and back. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Breathe in, lengthen your chest forward. And then step to plank pose. Pause, engaging your front body. As you exhale, resist the floor, lower to your belly. Locust cobra, seesaw, inhale, raise the legs. Exhale, lower the legs and lift your chest, cobra. Lower and press back to downward facing dog. Pedal and stretch, move and sway. Just notice how your hips and your legs feel. Make contact with your breath, even and equal. On your inhale, raise your right leg up and back, down dog splits. Exhale, core lunge in the air, knee to nose. Breathe in, send your right leg up and back. On your exhale, step to high lunge, right foot to your hands. Rise to stand, reach your arms by your ears. And then find a long, steady stride between your feet. So all 10 toes pointing forward, feet spaced, hips width apart. Focus gaze. Then stand high on the balls of your left toes. Place a small bend in your left knee so you can lift the front of your pelvis and engage your left glutes while lengthening the front of your left thigh. Take one more breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor and step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, open your chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, bend the knees. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, press to stand. We'll keep it flowing, forward fold over your legs. Breathing in Ardha Uttanasana. And then step to plank, pause. And then on your exhale, come down to forearm plank. So option to lower your knees for support. Pausing here, energetically engaging, so getting the feeling you're dragging your elbows toward your legs toward the elbows. Strengthening your core, back and front. Take another breath in. Then come to your hands and press back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, core lunge. Breathe in, down dog splits. Exhale, step up, high lunge. Rise slow, find your feet. Steady gaze and hold. So a little bend in your right knee to lift the front of your hips and engage your right buttocks. Balancing your pelvis so it feels more comfortable in your low back, but you're also cultivating better bilateral balance in those larger muscles of your right leg, strengthening while you're lengthening. One more breath in. And then hands to the floor, stepping up, top of the mat. Open and fold with your breath. Inhale, chair pose. Stay for your exhale, sit low. Inhale, rise, stand, arms overhead. Forward fold on your exhale. Breathe in Ardha Uttanasana. And then step to plank. Pause there, take a breath. On your exhale, forearm plank. And then pause. And you can either hold here or, for more challenge, raise your right foot a few inches from the floor, possibly the left arm. And then switch if you're taking that option. And then release, press back, downward facing dog. And we've got one more round of this variation of salutations, one movement, one breath. Inhale, raise your right leg up and back. Exhale, core lunge. Breathe in, down dog splits. Step up to high lunge. Rise on your inhale, arms by your ears. Exhale, hands to the floor and step up. Open on your inhale. Fold with your exhale. Chair on your inhale. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, press to stand, grow long. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, Ardha. Then step to plank. Take a breath in plank. Exhale, forearm plank. Breathe in. And then hands to the floor, downward facing dog. We'll keep it rolling, building heat. Inhale your left leg up and back. Core lunge. With your breath, down dog splits. Step up, high lunge. Arms overhead, chest proud. Hands to the floor and step up, top of the mat. Open your chest forward, lengthen your waist. Fold with your out breath. Inhale, bend the knees, chair. Sit lower on your exhale. Inhale, rise, come to stand, sweep the arms overhead and then fold with your out breath. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And then step to plank. Hold, take a breath. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale in your forearm plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a moment now to check in, a few breaths to feel Sensing the building warmth in your body. And just finding balance here in your hands, in your feet. And just moving toward a feeling of symmetry. And if any parts of your body stand out as feeling out of place, congested or uneven, just bringing the equanimity of your breath to those parts of you. And we'll add on now. Inhale, raise your right leg up and back. Exhale, core lunge. Right leg down, dog splits. Exhale, step up, high lunge. Rise on your inhale. This time now, warrior two on your exhale. Land your left heel down, arms extend out, shoulder blades gather in. It's breathing your Samavriti breath, even and equal. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reaching your right arm back to lengthen through the right side ribs. Then stay, just straighten your right leg, reverse triangle. Then keep all this length as you reach forward into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Chance to shorten your stride as you come through center, then right hand to your shin, left arm straight up. Here to pause. Adding a light bend to your right knee. Press your right shin into your hand to unlock the knee. Then dig your right heel into the mat and energetically drag it back toward your left foot. So you're adding some strengthening to your hamstrings while you're lengthening them, finding that balance. Return to warrior two, rebend your right knee. And then on your exhale, hands to the floor, step to plank pose. Take a breath in your plank and then lower through your vinyasa. You might choose now to move through an upward facing dog or locust or cobra. And we'll all meet up in downward facing dog. On your inhale, raise your left leg, down dog splits. And core lunge on your exhale. Inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Then step up lightly, high lunge. Arms sweep up. Open out, warrior two. Ground your right heel. Put a squeeze between your feet to engage your legs. Broadening your chest, reaching from fingertip to fingertip, engaging your arms. So you're consciously engaging your muscular energy, and it shouldn't feel harsh or strange. It's just an energetic focus, so you can feel the touch of your breath still, sense of ease. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reaching your left arm back. Stay there, and then go ahead, straighten your left leg, reach further back, reverse triangle. On your exhale, triangle pose. Take a moment to steady your shape, feel your feet. Pushing down, pulling back with your left heel. And then return to warrior two. And then hands to the floor and take a vinyasa. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. And we'll move now with your breath, and we'll add on your inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, core lunge. Inhale, down dog splits. Exhale, step to high lunge. Rise on your inhale. Warrior two on your exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stay for your exhale, straighten your right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, triangle pose, steady your feet. Inhale back to warrior two, rebend your right knee. And exhale into side angle pose, Parshvakonasana. Rest your right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm reaches straight up to modify or overhead. Just finding what feels comfortable, easeful in your body, balancing your effort with an even breath. As you linger, you might like to add on option to half bind, wrapping your left arm behind you and snagging the inside of your right thigh, or a full bind if that's in your practice. 2 more steady breaths. On your inhale, strong legs, return to warrior 2. And then windmill your hands to the floor, step to plank and pause. Moving into right side Vashisthasana, side plank, modify if that feels best. Settle your right knee to the floor. Wherever you're at, just meeting any challenge of the shape with a smooth breath and a calm gaze. Return to plank and either flow through a vinyasa or press back. Downward facing dog will all meet up there. On your inhale, raise your left leg, down dog splits. Exhale, core lunge. Down dog splits. And step to high lunge. Sweep your arms up on your inhale. Open warrior 2, exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach your left arm back. Exhale, straighten your left leg, reach further back. Take another breath in. And then triangle pose, reaching forward, keep your waist long. Inhale back to warrior 2, rebend your left knee. Exhale now, side angle pose. Rest your left forearm to your left thigh, reach your right arm up or overhead. Just connecting to the steady stream of your breath. Grounding your attention in the moment. Just adding on, if you took those bind options on the right, you can add them here on the left. Keep your chest open, belly button pointing out. 2 more steady breaths. On your inhale, release, press your left foot down to rise, return, warrior 2. And then exhale, hands to the floor, step to plank, steady your shape. Transition into side plank on your left. And just engaging by pressing down where your body touches down, your left hand active. Your feet flexed, your legs strong, left side waist lifting. Return to plank on your inhale and either flow through a vinyasa if you'd like to keep moving, or press back, downward facing dog. Just pausing here or take rest in child's pose. A few moments to regroup and check in with the feedback from your body. Just lessening your effort for a few breaths. And just as we scan and absorb the physical feedback through our practice, it's just as important to take stock regularly of how you're feeling mentally and emotionally, in order to bring ourselves back into harmony and balance. It's important to find those areas in our lives which might be becoming polarized. And oftentimes stress and illness are just nature's way of telling us that our yin and yang energies are out of balance. If you're in a child's pose, just making your way back to downward facing dog. Take a forward gaze, bend your knees and lightly step or hop to the top of your mat. Space your feet hips width apart, bend your knees deeply. Taking gorilla arms, slip the palms of your hands under the soles of your feet. And then inhale, lift a quarter way, lengthen your spine. Knees can stay bent there. Exhale and fold in. Sending the weight of your body toward your toes, and you're lifting your palms against your feet. Stretching, balancing out through the wrists after that weight bearing. And then release your hands to your shins now. Lengthen your spine forward on an inhale. Forward fold, exhale. On your in-breath, come to chair pose, Utkatasana. Then press your palms overhead, lower your hands to your heart. So moving into some final yang twists for the health of your spine. Now that you're a little warmer, you can take your feet together or have them spaced. Twisting to your right, hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Then sit your buttocks lower. Then press your right palm into your left to open your chest. Notice if you can breathe well in the shape you've made, just orienting, refining your shape in line with your breath. One more breath in. And then forward fold over your legs, lift your hips, release your head down. On your inhale, send your chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot back for pyramid pose. Ground your left heel, straighten the legs. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Square your hips forward. And then forward fold over the midline of your right leg. Take 5 calm, steady breaths, even and equal. On an inhale, gently bend your right knee, lift up, and we're going to move into revolved half moon pose. Bring your left fingertips to the floor or a block. If you have one, raise your left leg up. And then slowly, gently turning your left ribs to your right arm extending up. Try and lead your twist from your ribs rather than your shoulders. And then release, eyes down, right hand to the floor, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Fold on your exhale. Inhale through chair pose. Then press to stand, straight legs. Bring your hands to your heart center. And to heel your feet together. Final side, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Press your palms overhead, lower your hands to your heart. And just shifting your weight generously back into your heels, twisting now to your left. Take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, bump your hips to the left a little. Just finding your own version so you have a free flowing breath. One more breath in. Forward fold over your legs, release. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And then right foot steps back, pyramid pose. Ground your right heel to the mat, straighten your legs, inhale, halfway lift. Fold over the midline of your left leg now, so belly button over the midline of your left leg. 5 steady breaths. Next inhale, gently bend your left knee, halfway lift, and then moving into revolved half moon pose, right fingertips to the floor or block, raise your right leg up and try and engage your leg, flex your foot, then turn your belly, ribs, chest to your left arm reaches up. And release, eyes down, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And then fold in. Inhale through chair pose, bend the knees, reach your arms, and then you're pressing to stand. Forward fold over the legs, we'll keep it rolling. Breathe your chest forward. And on your exhale, step back either through a final vinyasa or to downward facing dog. And then we're going to move into a child's pose. We're going to all meet up there, so take your time. There's no rush. And just connecting now to a feeling of non-doing, letting this shape that you've chosen start to invoke a feeling of surrender. So each posture we practice has an energetic effect, and then the combination of postures in a sequence and intention. So in the first half of this class, we've actively cycled through warming, strengthening, uplifting postures. And now as we move to the yin portion of the class, we focus on postures that energetically invite more introspection, so more a feeling of surrender and release. So each posture now will be punctuated with a minute pause in between what's referred to in yin as the rebound. And this gives the connective tissues a chance to rehydrate after a gentle stress placed on them during the posture, and also an opportunity to settle into stillness and simply observe. So just very gently now walking your hands back in, sitting up, bringing your legs around in front of you, and take a moment to gather your props and any additional layers you may wish to have. And we'll move into Dragonfly pose, a wide straddle. If you know your hamstrings or your inner thighs are particularly tight and they tend to block you in your forward folds, you might like to move to a wall space and practice this posture with the legs up the wall and then taking them into a V shape. And this is a really great alternative which allows you to enjoy the shape as it was intended and navigate around the hamstrings, because we kind of take the upper body and the pelvis out of the equation. If you're sitting upright with me, you might like to prop a folded blanket under your sitting bones. And you allow the pelvis to tilt forward. Then take your legs comfortably wide. Deliberately heavy your legs, so let them go soggy. Soften your feet and your toes. So letting go now of any muscular engagement. And just invite your head to roll forward. Rest your hands to the mat and offer yourself some support there, building some support in front of you with your props if you're on your buttocks there. So you can invite yourself to soften and relax. So it's important in all these postures that you tune into the feedback from your body, settle into a place where your breath can flow, a shape where you don't feel like you have to contract. So it's really not about how far you can go, but how you're able to be in the feeling of the pose. And sometimes you can be quite upright here and be in the feeling and feeling enough, and that's okay. You're lingering here now for the next few minutes. Give yourself the anchor of your breath and keep returning to it, aware of your breath flowing in, aware of your breath washing out. And very gently now coming out of your shape, walking your hands back in if you're following me. And if you're against the wall, bend your knees, walk the legs together. And if you're at the wall, you can rebound here for the next minute, pausing with your legs up the wall with a little bend in the knees if that feels good, or gather the knees in toward your chest. If you're upright, coming to rest down on your back, placing your feet to the side edges of your mat, invite your knees to knock in toward one another. Just observing now the feeling tone through the back of your legs, the inseam of your legs and your back. Letting your mind's eye follow each sensation as it arises and fades, and usher a soft breath to those places. And if you are against the wall, we're going to come down onto our backs, onto the floor, so just bending the knees in toward you. Make some space between the wall and your buttocks and gently roll out to one side. We're going to move into a reclined twist now. There's no rush, just making your way there gently. Also known as twisted roots in Yin. Just crossing your right leg over your left. Shifting your hips a little to the right as you melt your knees across to the left. For a gentler twist, simply stack your knees together. And then rolling on the back of your head, just find a comfortable place for your head to rest. So using your exhales to help the body get a little heavier, letting go of any gripping in your legs, relaxing your belly, loosening your jaw. We're here for another few minutes. Singing bells will be back to guide you back. Easing your way back to center. Under your knees, place your feet wide to the floor. Bend in the knees, and there's an option here to windshield wiper your legs side to side just to decompress, reset. And then as you're ready, extend your legs out long for your rebound. We'll take a minute or so in Savasana between sides. Just resting and observing. And just moving now into the opposite side, bending your knees. Wrap your left leg over or stack your knees. Shifting your hips a little to the left, invite your knees to melt over to your right. So you can let your arms find a comfortable place to rest, a loose cactus, T-shape, or even on your body. Then allow the weight of your body to recede down and back into the support beneath you. And we're here for the next few minutes. When you're ready now, slowly begin to roll out of your twist, and again, you might like to wipe the knees side to side for a breath or two, and then extending your legs out into Savasana. Chance to pause about a minute to feel, setting the stage for deeper release. And in these moments of rebound and the moments of pause, just approaching any feedback from your body without judgment, just simply allowing whatever arises to just be, inviting your breath around it, letting it be, giving it a chance to melt. And then bending your knees now, take your feet to the floor and ease your way out to your right side. Take a moment to pause on your side and then slowly press your way back up to a cross-legged seat with your right shin in front. So we'll transition into sleeping swan pose. For this posture, you might like to have a bolster, a cushion or a blanket to rest forward onto. From here, leaning out to your right, sweep your left leg behind, and option to pause halfway with your knees bent in that 90-90 shape. Or alternatively, you can sweep your left leg towards straight behind you, and don't worry too much about squaring your hips here. You just want to search for a broad stretch into your right buttocks, your glutes in your own version. So folding forward over your front leg. Maybe settling down, nestling down into a cushion or a bolster there, or perhaps even stacking your fists to rest your head. It's prioritizing a smooth, easy breath once you arrive in your shape. And asking yourself to become quiet, still and observant. We're here for about 4 minutes in total. Singing bowl will guide you back. No rush here, just walking your hands back in toward you. And you can rebound softly on your belly here, just laying prone, stacking your arms or your hands for your head to rest, or you can come down onto your back, whatever feels most restful for you. Just pausing for about a minute. Noticing what you can feel, the quality of your breath, your mind. And then take a long, smooth breath in and a soft, nourishing breath out, preparing to move. And just visualizing first how you'll transition to left side so you don't disturb your peace too much. Just making your way there now, left side, sleeping swan. If you're moving with me, I'm going to return to a cross-legged seat, left shin in front, and then sweep my right leg back. And you can go halfway with your knee bent or move towards straightening your right leg behind you. And take a little time to refine your shape, accommodating the differences you might detect on this side compared with your right side. Nearly always we're not always perfectly balanced, and that has a lot to do with the shape of your bones and how they sit in your hip sockets and how the muscles have developed around the joint. So just making space to prop yourself, change your shape to support yourself. Here for the next 4 minutes or so, and the singing bowl will guide you back. Your last few breaths here, you may wish to stay in your swan or begin to make your way out of the posture and onto your back for a brief rebound in Shavasana. So keep tuning in to the feedback from your body, sensing any shifts. Notice you breathe shallow and low in your belly now. And any other sensations, pockets of warmth in your body, coolness, tingling or pulsing. Just bending your knees, take your feet to the floor and easing your way out to your right side, pressing your way back up to sit. So we're going to move into shoelace pose. This pose targets the space along the outer legs and into the outer buttocks, your glutes. So if you know your hips are less flexible or your knees might protest, moving to a wall space to practice this posture will make it more accessible, and you can moderate the intensity, especially for those parts of your body. So you can make your way there now and take your legs up the wall. I'll be back to guide you in a moment. If you're following along with me, have a block or blanket close by for support and make your way onto all fours. So from all fours, place your right knee to the back of your right hand and then slide your left knee in behind the right knee. So it's the yin version of cow face legs, Gomukhasana. Wriggle your feet away from one another and then taking your prop, gently lean your weight back to come to sit on your prop. Or if you're okay here, you can sit down in between the feet. If it doesn't favour your knees and you feel like this is too intense, you can make your way over to the wall, or you can try elevating your seat a little higher to accommodate your hips. Or, final option, extend your left leg forward so you're in a half shoelace with the sole of your right foot pointing back. If you've chosen the wall space, take a moment to smooth your back body, align yourself straight, and then bend your knees. Place both feet to the wall and then slowly lift your hips, float your right leg from the wall and then cross it over your left. Then lower your buttocks back down. So feet are moving away from each other against the wall. If you feel quite comfortable here and you feel like you've got a little bit more space to intensify, you can nudge your buttocks a little closer to the wall. So pausing here, we're here for about 4 minutes. If you're upright, you can just gently nod your chin in toward your chest and then slowly just see if you've got more space to fold forward toward the legs and give yourself some time to move incrementally so you can brace yourself with your hands on the floor ahead of you or using your props for support. So you can find a place where you can release and breathe easy. And just softly now taking a cleansing breath in and out. No rush, gently unraveling. If you're at the wall, unwind your legs and extend them up the wall with a little bend in your knees to rebound for the next minute or so. If you're with me, clear some space on your mat and rest back in Savasana. Just lingering here. And then gently now, we're going to switch sides as you're ready. From Shavasana and the wall, knees bend. And then switching legs if you're at the wall, or rolling out to one side and onto all fours. And having your props ready to go if you're using them. Left knee forward, right knee slips in behind your left knee, sitting back and down. And we have the next 4 minutes here together, just moving slowly and easily toward the posture and toward any discomfort you may feel. So giving yourself permission to moderate and adjust for your body. Prioritize your breath. Last few breath here. And just slowly, softly unwinding from your shape. If you're at the wall, bend your knees in toward your chest. Make some space between your buttocks and the wall and softly roll out to your right. And we'll all move quietly into Savasana. So gather any props, additional layers, anything that will help you build a nest for yourself to rest. And come to lay down on your back, finding neutral, your arms and legs falling away equally from your midline so you feel balanced. Really take the time to mindfully place yourself. In Shavasana, your brain experiences misalignment as a disturbance, and the more balanced you feel in this posture, the more your brain will quieten down. Once your brain settles, what you normally see and perceive as the limits of your body actually start to soften and dissolve, and you begin to feel more expansive. Just allowing now the mass of your body to sink onto the back of your body, onto your heels, your calves, your buttocks, torso, your arms and your head. Invite your tongue to rest on the ground floor of your mouth, releasing and relaxing your jaw. And soften your nose and deepen your ear canals so that you're listening to the vibration of your breath from deep inside the back of your head. Feel your connection to the floor and all its touch points. Feeling a whole body awareness. Awareness of your breath. Just rest and let go now. And I'll be back to guide you back in a few minutes. And gently, softly begin to breathe a deeper breath, feeling your body rise and expand with your inhales. And start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. And just as you're ready, bending your knees, take your feet to the floor, rolling out to your right side. Take a moment here to pause, blinking the eyes open, letting the light in toward you. And just slowly now making your way back up to sit. Thank you so much for joining me for this longer class. Thank you, David, for your request. I really hope you feel nourished and peaceful now. So grateful for your company here. Take care. Namaste.